Here are my two NHL futures bets that I just placed for the 2023-2024 season. Welcome to Juice Bets. My name's Trevor. The NHL just finished about a week ago. Congrats to the Knights on winning the Cup. That was a great series. A lot of fun games throughout the entire playoffs. But it's time to look ahead to next season. A bunch of odds have just been released for the future, for NHL futures, on who's going to win the Cup, win the Eastern Conference, Western Conference, all of that stuff. So today we're going to be looking at two bets that I just made, one of them from the East, one of them from the West, and we're going to look at, what it means to bet on futures for the NHL, what's different about the NHL compared to other sports, and we'll look at a few teams that I wouldn't touch with a 20-foot pole. Let's get into it. So looking at the odds, it's not a surprise. Looking at these top three teams here, obviously the Avalanche will be favored. I'm not surprised by that. But let's kind of look through these odds here and kind of make a few ranges, right? So these top three guys are clearly in a range on their own. If you were to ask a random guy on the street, these are the three teams they would assume to be favored to win the Cup. Then we've kind of got this my favorite range to pull from, and you'll see with my picks, from the Devils down to the Stars. This is the contender spot where I really do think that the winner is going to come from here, between the Devils and the Stars. So this is a range of about 9 teams here, and you're getting great value on them compared to the guys at the top, and I personally don't love the guys at the top. To briefly touch on it, the Avalanche, they're not the same team as they were 2 years ago. Landeskog's gone. They don't have goaltending. It's a bit of a mess. They have talent, obviously, but I'm not totally bought in. The Maple Leafs, man, I'm a Canadian, and I hear about the Leafs constantly. They are a letdown every single season. They're not a playoff team. They're a flashy, talented team. Great guys, I'm sure, but they do not have the grit. They don't have the goaltending or the coaching. They're not totally bought in. They're not a playoff team with physicality and grit to get through these game sevens with triple overtimes and all of this. So I wouldn't pick the Leafs either. Oilers, very similar story. McDavid and Draisaitl at the top, very top heavy. After that, they've got some good players, but where's the goaltending? Where's the coaching? No one is bought in. There's no grit, right? So I'm going to avoid these top three teams. We're not getting that much value on them, and I'm going to avoid them. So this is the range that I like to look at right here. Devils to Stars, this is my range, and you'll see in my picks coming up in a second. After the Stars, we've got between the Kings and I would say the Kraken. These are definitely pickable. These are great long shots to take. Because, these teams could sneak in like the Panthers and make a run, right? And, the Panthers easily could have won this year. The fact that they didn't is totally fine, because if you do take a long shot at 50-1 like the Islanders here, and they make it to the finals, you can hedge your bet super easily, and you're walking away with some great profits. So in here is a fun range to pick from as well. Anything below that between the Red Wings and the Sharks here, This is a no-fly zone, in my opinion. Bottom 12 teams in the league, I wouldn't pick from there. Now, let's also quickly touch on the conferences, right? Eastern Conference is definitely tougher than the Western Conference. Western Conference has the Avalanche and Oilers, but after that, it's just the Knights and the Stars, in my opinion. Obviously Kings and Flames down here, but really at the top, it's just Avalanche, Oilers, Knights, and Stars, where the Eastern Conference, Maple Leafs, Devils, Hurricanes, Bruins, Lightning, Rangers, Panthers. It's definitely more stacked in the East compared to the West. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the odds here. Okay. Enough said. Let's talk about our first pick. Our first pick here from the East, Carolina Hurricanes plus 1,300. 13-1 odds here. You bet $100, you win $1,300 in profit. Definitely tons of reasons why to pick the Hurricanes. But before I even go into that, let's talk quickly about why we want to focus on, when we're betting the NHL futures, why it's such a lucrative market to be betting in this range here. Okay, so if we compare it to the NFL futures for the Super Bowl, we've got basically 6 teams before we get to 20-1 odds, right? With the NHL, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams until we get to 20-1. So there's just, it's not as top heavy, right? The NFL, it's basically Chiefs, Eagles, Bills, and Niners and Bengals all right here. And after that, everyone else is such a long shot. Whereas with the NHL, I mean, it's really all of these teams right here are like basically equally as likely to win the cup than each other, right? Because it's such a hard championship to win. There's so much variance, injuries. Like I've said, triple overtime. I've said it enough, but that's another way to visualize it. So why I love the Hurricanes is because of the value we're getting. You could totally argue that they're the best team in the East. Absolutely, you could argue that. But we're getting them below the Leafs, below the Devils, or same as the Devils, right? And 13-1 is just incredible value. Now let's look at their cap friendly here. 24 million in cap space. So they have their picks. They have so many assets to be dealing before the season starts that, I mean, and let's say, okay, well, they might not want to be dealing all this stuff because they're looking ahead to the future. No, they are not. Aho, Teravainen, both of them unrestricted free agents next season. So right now is the time for them to win. This 2023-2024 season is when they need to win, and they can make a massive push for it, right? They have all this cap space, 24 million to go out, get some pieces. They can trade away some picks for some pieces. They are playing for now. They're no longer looking at the future. They are playing for now, right? And in one of those pieces they could go out and get is a goalie for sure. I'm not going to sit here and say that they have incredible goaltending, but they've got an awesome lineup. They've got great defense here. Brent Burns, and obviously the top of their lineup is great too. A bunch of great young players, right? 25, 28, 22, 24. I mean, these guys, their team is built for now. They're going to push for now because of the way their cap is structured with so much space and all these picks. They're going to make some moves, and the odds that you're getting right now at 13-1 right here, there's not a chance it's there by puck drop to start the season, and there's not a chance it's like this halfway through the season. So lock in the Hurricanes as your Eastern Conference side to winning the cup at 13-1 odds. Our second and final pick here from the West is going to be the Dallas Stars at plus 1,800, 18-1 odds. Again, if you're going to be placing these bets, make sure that you are line shopping on OddsJam, link down below, 90-day free trial down there, because you want to make sure that you're maximizing the payout that you can get from these. You are locking up your money for a good while, right? Until probably April next year. So if you're taking these bets, make sure you're line shopping. Dallas Stars plus 1,800. Let's look at their cap friendly here. The Stars, they made it really far in the bubble. They've had good playoff runs. They've been a great playoff team, and that's exactly what they are. They are a playoff team. They're gritty, they're big, they're aggressive, and they play for the playoffs, which is great. You love to see that. It's similar to the Knights in my mind. They have, two veterans at the top here, Sagan and Ben, and it's time for them to really push for a cup, right? Like they need a cup soon. And the best part, they've got Hintz and Robertson coming in right behind them. They've got these veterans, but they have these super young guys that are super talented and can kind of carry their team from the talent side. And then you have these veterans, also Joe Pavelski, to really lead the team with their presence and with their knowledge. So, and then if we continue looking, another awesome bonus for the Stars, and what will make you feel super great having that slip when playoff time comes, is Jake Ottinger being their goalie. I mean, he is super talented, young goalie who's just getting better. And, having said all of this team is ready to win now. They need to win now. Their cap is not as good, definitely not as good as the Hurricanes. They've got some room. They have some picks that they can deal. They're not totally out of picks. They've got a couple picks and a little bit of cap space to make a move if they need to. Pick up a defender potentially, pick up another winger or something. They are here and ready to win now. They're a playoff team, and the best part, you're getting them at 18-1 odds. I mean, it's just great value. And again, there's no way this line is going to be the same when they're in the playoffs next year, and I guarantee you they will be. So lock in the Stars for the West side, and that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's super fun doing futures and looking ahead and putting in a little bit of research. I love the NHL. Being a Canadian, it's impossible not to. And, I'm really, really, really excited for these picks. I hope you guys tail them. We'll be following them all season long. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this. Like the video if you did enjoy it, and we'll see you guys next time.